The gods remembered us. We came where Iceland splits the sea, not seeking who we ought to be, but where the mountains pierce the sky, to lose the masks and learn the why. At Iceland, earth and stone made something ancient feel like home. The wind moved softly through the sod, and every silence whispered, God. Not somewhere distant, crowned above, but breathing through the land we love. Within the marrow, blood and bone, the gods were us, and we their own. The first sun sank in amber fire, as sound became our evening choir, while singing bowls and voices rolled through chambers buried in the soul. Their echoes wandered mountain wide, then turned and traveled back inside. No need to name what we could feel, the unseen somehow became real. And when the final daylight bled, and twilight crowned each mountain head, we sank where ancient waters steamed, between the waking and the dreamed, then plunged where glacial waters stormed, from bitter cold to earth fire warmed. Between the furnace and the freeze, we learned surrender by degrees. Then morning climbed across the stone, and called us deeper toward our own. With Nikolai and Thordis near, the body's language became clear. Through qigong forms and lungs made wide, we found the multiverse inside, as energy moved hand to hand, like hidden rivers through the land. The mountains watched without a word, as something older in us stirred. Each measured movement seemed to show the body knows what minds don't know. And when another darkness came, the thermal waters called our name. Again through steaming earth we'd sink, then meet the cold at water's brink. Day 2 would open stranger doors to forest underneath our floors. The mushrooms loosened time and skin and turned the endless world within. The borders blurred, the self grew thin, the universe came rushing in, until the thing we called the me was mountain, stranger, stone, and sea. Perhaps we traveled somewhere far, perhaps remembered what we are, perhaps the veil was always slight. We'd simply forgotten how to sight. And once again beneath the night, we entered water, steam, and light. Then cold enough to steal the breath, a nightly little birth through death. Then came the third day's deeper breath, a practice flirting close with death. We breathed until the borders blurred past every thought and spoken word. Breath stripped the scaffolding away. The stories gathered day by day, until beneath each borrowed roll, we heard the naked waiting soul. There Marley roots, with practiced grace, read quiet maps beneath the face. Chinese medicine, point and line, she traced the body's old design. With needles placed where pathways meet, she woke forgotten pulse and heat. Each meridian somehow knew the ancient road that led us through. And then the heavens joined the rite, as days surrendered into night. The sun and moon above the stone met briefly, becoming our own. An eclipse gathered mountain flame and burned away the borrowed name. Around the fire beneath that sky, we named what finally had to die. Old stories fed the waiting flame. Old fears surrendered without claim. We gave the fire what couldn't stay and watched the smoke take it away. Yet this was never just release, nor some pursuit of perfect peace. For underneath what we let go were things we'd always seemed to know. We weren't becoming something new. We stripped away what wasn't true. And underneath each roll and scar, remembered what we always are. Community met near the fire, each separate spark from one great pyre. A circle formed of breath and bone, where no one journeyed there alone. For every laugh and every tear made something timeless reappear. The stranger slowly became kin, as outer worlds collapsed within. Then one last night the waters steamed beneath the mountains where we'd dreamed. One final plunge through fire and cold to meet ourselves both new and old. And on the final day we came, where falling waters spoke our name. Dinjandi magic filled the air, a staircase gods had fashioned there. White rivers thundered from its crown, in endless silver curtains down. The mountains seemed to breathe and roar, as though we'd been there before. We sat beneath the endless fall, so small beneath the weight of all. Yet somehow staring at that wall, we felt immense enough for all. Perhaps the soul is much the same, a waterfall, a breath, a flame, forever falling, yet somehow entirely here, entirely now. Perhaps the gods were never gone, but hid within the breaking dawn, in mushroom, mountain, flame, and sea, in every breath, remembering we. So Iceland wasn't where we went, but where the veil itself was rent. A journey neither far nor wide, we crossed an island to traverse inside. And then we left that sacred shore, not quite the selves we've been before, each taking different roads to trod, yet carrying the breath of God. For what awakened couldn't cease when mountains faded toward the east. The journey merely changed its view. The outer pilgrimage was through. Now every path becomes our own, through foreign earth or streets of home. For once the veil has fallen thin, there is no road that leads within. You have been there, you always were. Beneath the noise, beneath the blur, the mountains knew, the waters knew. The fire remembered, so did you. The gods weren't waiting in the sky, nor hiding where the ravens fly. They moved through every breath we drew, around us, in us, speaking through. And maybe that was Iceland's art, to break the world and bare the heart, to let us lose what wasn't true, become the gods within us too.